Welcome to my PowerPoint presentation for BA 130 Human Relations. My name is Lyra Orhalo, a Philippine licensed nurse, a UAE licensed nurse, as well as US registered nurse. And my presentation is about human relations in organizational administration, submitted to Mr. Joseph Rago, our instructor, and I hope you will like my presentation. The agenda: Introduction of Human Relations in Organization, Effective Communication Skills, Motivation Theories, Organizational Change, Final Tips and Resources. Introduction of Human Relations in Organization. In an organization refers to the way people interact, communicate, and collaborate within a workplace or structured group. It encompasses the relationships between employees, managers, and other stakeholders, focusing on how these interactions influence productivity, morale, and the overall organizational environment. Human relations is about understanding and managing the human element in a professional setting. It involves factors like teamwork, leadership, motivation, conflict resolution, and communication. The concept emerged prominently in the early 20th century, notably through the Hawthorne studies conducted by Alton Mayo in the 1920s and 1930s, which showed that worker productivity and satisfaction are heavily influenced by social factors, not just by pay or physical working conditions. Good human relations in an organization might look like: 1. Open communication, wherein employees feel comfortable sharing ideas or concerns with management. We also have mutual respect. Colleagues and leaders value each other's contributions, fostering a positive culture. We also have conflict management, wherein disagreements are handled constructively rather than destructively. And lastly, we have employee recognition, wherein people are motivated through appreciation and support, not just financial incentives. For example, a manager who listens to their team's feedback and adjusts policies accordingly is practicing strong human relations. On the flip side, poor human relations like micromanagement or lack of trust can lead to disengagement, high turnover, or a toxic workplace. Side is about effective workplace communication. With a solid understanding of how crucial effective communication in the workplace is, let's look at the top tips for effective communication, including the key communication skills you need to adopt, how to prioritize two-way communication, how to organize communication, and more. Communicate the right way. For more effective communication, first ask these questions: What is the goal? Who needs to hear this? How should I pass the message across? Ineffective communication often occurs when managers talk to the wrong employees or share information in the wrong workplace setting. So make sure the communication purpose directs you to the relevant recipients. Also, choose the most appropriate communication method out of the different communication channels for the employee and situation. For example, an employee may prefer email, while another person likes physical interaction, where there is eye to eye contact and they can read your body language. Generally, though, you should communicate urgent information or instructions, major news, or sensitive news such as promotion or transfer face to face. Is prioritize two-way communication, practice active listening. To avoid missing important information, don't listen to a coworker just so you can reply. Instead, listen to understand them. Maintain eye contact with the speaker. Jot down whatever comes to your mind while they are speaking and respond with relevant gestures to show you are listening. And also embrace feedback. Ask your team members for feedback on your message and communication style and note their comments and concerns. They can share such information during meetings or drop them anonymously in suggestion boxes. You can also offer feedback, but do it thoughtfully. Just don't do it harshly or in public. Effective communication in the workplace involves speaking, active listening, and feedback. Both parties need to understand each other. Is motivation theories. Knowing that your employees are motivated is one of the best news for your organization. Here are the top motivation theories to apply to keep employees motivated. Hierarchy of needs. Psychologist Abraham Maslow published the hierarchy of needs in 1943 in his paper, A Theory of Human Motivation. The Maslow motivation theory outlines the five key tiers of human needs, represented by a pyramid. We have self actualization, wherein person's ability to reach their full potential. We also have esteem, wherein recognition, status, self-esteem, and respect for human being, and love and belonging, wherein friendships, family, intimacy, and a sense of connection. Safety needs, personal security, resources, employment, health, and property. And physiological needs, air, food, water, shelter, clothing, sleep, and reproduction. People typically strive to achieve their basic needs first, such as food, water, and shelter, and this form the bottom of the pyramid. They then move up to the next pyramid tier until reaching the very top. The most important takeaway for an employer is that the basic needs must be in place before anything else. Each tier is built on the other, so employers should first concentrate on meeting the base requirements. Ensure that everyone is adequately paid and has safe working conditions and job security. Then consider ways to make work more rewarding through job enrichment, cross training, and special projects. Motivation theory is the Mayo's theory of management. According to Professor George Elton Mayo and his management theory, workers are motivated far more by interpersonal factors, such as camaraderie, than by environmental factors or monetary rewards. In the 1920s, Mayo carried out various workplace experiments that showed job satisfaction was hard to achieve through short term incentives. Instead, positive relational factors such as strong teamwork were much more effective in boosting productivity and job satisfaction. Mayo created a matrix to demonstrate how successful a team would likely be. The matrix illustrates the role that different combinations of group norms and cohesiveness play in the effectiveness of a team. Mayo's theory identifies a norm as the degree to which a group of people encourage positive or negative behaviors. Typically, this is expressed through workplace policies or employee handbooks and includes informal and formal rules. Group cohesiveness refers to how well a group works together and overall camaraderie. The key team positions identified by Mayo are Low norm and low cohesiveness, wherein teams like this are usually ineffective, with low motivation and little or no productivity among members. We also have low norm and high cohesiveness. These groups of workers tend to have high camaraderie among members and minimal structure. Group members often encourage each other's negative behavior, hindering productivity. So have high norm and low cohesiveness. These teams have a small positive impact on productivity, achieved through individual accomplishments. Each team member maintains a high standard of work but doesn't cooperate as part of a team or work towards a team goal, only their own. We also have high norms and high cohesiveness. This group of employees has the most significant positive impact on the productivity of each member. Everyone supports each other and works together towards a group goal to achieve success. To apply Mayo's theory of motivation effectively, focus on creating positive relational factors within the workplace. Do this by encouraging employees to work in teams or groups, taking a greater interest in your employees' working lives, and improving the two-way communication between managers and employees. There is nothing worse than spending precious work time in a meeting to end up feeling confused, bored, or mentally drained at the end. Meetings are a natural component of business that most employees working in a team will have to face, but it doesn't have to be something they dread. Today, we are sharing the top leadership skills for effective team meetings as a manager can employ. As I have stated earlier, here are the leadership skills in team meeting. We have meeting planning. One of the easiest leadership skills for effective team meetings to develop is meeting planning. Before calling a meeting, we highly recommend considering the following. What is the goal of the meeting? What are you looking to accomplish by calling this meeting? Who needs to attend? Don't waste the time of those who are unnecessary for the meeting. What is each person's role in the meeting? Does each person know why they are in the meeting and their role? What is your role in the meeting? Are you sharing new information or are you stepping back to hear new ideas? Make sure that you and your team understand your role for the meeting so they don't make incorrect assumptions. Next is creating an idea. If you need to cover multiple points in a meeting, there should be a shareable agenda for everyone to have access to and refer to. Your agenda should cover every topic that needs to be discussed, and it works well as a reminder if the meeting goes off course. One of the best leadership skills for effective team meetings is distributing the agenda before the meeting. This will allow teammates to think about the points beforehand and submit additional topics that you may not be aware of need further discussion. We also have keeping meetings functional. The whole point of conducting a meeting is to fulfill a specific purpose, but it can be easy for you and your teammates to go down an unproductive rabbit hole. As the leader, it is your job to balance keeping the meeting on track and productive and allowing free space where teammates can creatively brainstorm new ideas. We recommend using the first part of the meeting to cover the quick vital agenda points. The second part should be dedicated to any brainstorming that needs to be completed. By structuring the discussion this way, you won't feel pressured for time. We also have end with assignments. Every meeting should end with actionable items for team members to accomplish with specific timelines. With these tasks in hand, employees will walk away with a sense of purpose and a mission to accomplish. And the fifth one is mixing up the format or mix it up. Developing leadership skills for effective team meetings is terrific, but the same monotony of meetings can grow tiresome even for the most dedicated employees. We recommend taking the time to mix up your sessions now and then, whether providing a fun snack, taking the meeting outside, bringing in a guest speaker, delegating team members to take turns leading the discussion, or more. It helps keep the mood fresh and fun. And the last is staying positive. Additionally, leadership skills are abilities that help professional guides teams, projects, and organization. The last thing we want to note on building leadership skills for effective team meetings is the age old saying, monkey see, monkey do. If you attend each meeting with a positive, upbeat attitude, your team will likely follow suit. So keep it positive. The last topic, which is organizational change, why it is important. Organizational change helps companies stay competitive and flexible. It allows companies to adapt the market conditions, customer expectations, and technological advancements. Organizational change is when a company alters its structure, culture, processes, or strategies to adapt to new conditions. This can include shifting business practices, adopting new technology, or changing the way teams are organized. Of organizational change. Number one, technological change. Adopting new technology to improve how tasks are coordinated, discussed, and met. We also have strategic change, shifting a company's mission, priorities, goals, or scope. And we also have transformational change, making significant changes to a company's culture, structure, or strategy. Cultural change, changing a company's values, beliefs, and attitudes. And lastly, we have structural change, altering how departments or teams are organized. Discuss successful change management. It involves effective communication to help employees understand new roles, policies, or functions. We also involve leaders who help employees understand and adjust to new ways of working. It also involves keeping an eye on the external environment for signs of change or new opportunities. Okay, thank you. These are my final tips for human relations, even not in an organization, for everywhere else. So we can speak to people, smile at people, call people by name, be friendly and helpful, be cordial, be genuinely interested in people, and be generous with praise. That's all. Thank you. And there you can see my resources are included in the slide. And for feedback and questions, you can contact me through email at 642298 at csinow.edu. Again, thank you and God bless.